So now we're going to talk about what sort of market to go on. Now I think there's four main broad categories, which are health, wealth, relationships and self-help. They're all massive markets, so obviously you want to really niche down into something much smaller than that. So supposing you start off with something that's connected to one of those four markets, then you have to think about where do your potential customers congregate, online that is. Then you have to look at what sort of problems do they need solving that you can help with, because the whole idea of this is to solve people's problems. And you can really drill down and be specific by deciding on an avatar. Let's go into this in a bit more detail. So these are the four main categories: health, wealth, relationships and self-help. And where do they congregate? Well, people congregate in forums, Facebook groups. Facebook groups seem to have taken off really compared to forums, which I think is a pity, because I used to really like forums, and they seem to have a lot more functionality than Facebook groups. You could do things like sort by the longest thread with the longest number of comments and so on, and you could split it into different categories and find things more easily. But with Facebook groups it's all a bit of a mess. But the good thing about Facebook groups is it's so easy to set them up, and you don't have to worry about spam. When I used to administer a forum and people used to join and then just spam it all the time, so it was quite a lot of work moderating. But it doesn't really seem to be so much of a problem with Facebook groups. Anyway, there's a Facebook group for everything, and you can go in there, and also don't spam them, but you can interact with people, and you can certainly showcase your expertise by just answering questions. And if people want to find out more, then hopefully they will go to your Facebook page, and then they'll see to your link to your website, and then they can enter your sales funnel that way. Physical events are good. Obviously they're not as good as the internet, because the internet you could potentially meet billions of people or get your word out there. With physical events you're limited to how many people are at the events, but certainly if it's a high value item or it's a very niche thing, then physical events can certainly be worth it. One of the good things about physical events is to physically be in someone's presence. It creates a lot more rapport than just watching a video over the internet, because it just changes your whole energy and just changes the whole connection between them, and you can really get a sense of body language and what that person's like. So the other thing you can look at, so we're talking about where people congregate. People have their own news feeds in Facebook and Instagram, so it's just a question of getting onto their news feeds.